Board Game Hub has a title, and I just saw it, and now I want to tell you about it. Tranquillity. This is for 1 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and should take you about 15 to 20 minutes to play. Jump on board the good ship Tranquillity and set sail for paradise. Take care, though, because in a land where the day blends into night, it's easy to lose track of time, and you still need to find that special little island to call home. Tranquillity is a cooperative card game in which players must fill the sea with islands, specifically island cards with numbers on them, and guide the ship home before any player runs out of cards. Note that in the world of Tranquillity, the only way to play is in silence. The goal of the game is for the team to complete the grid before any player runs out of available actions. Cards must be placed so that the grid ascends in a numerical order from the bottom left to the top right. All players win if they manage to complete the grid and have placed a start and finish card. All players lose if a single player can no longer play or discard any cards legally following the instructions given below. The players may not, however, communicate. Players take it in turns, moving clockwise with the quietest player going first. On a player's turn, they must do one of the following. 1. Play a card. Or 2. Discard 2 cards. Then they must draw back up to 5-card hand. Cards must be placed so that the grid ascends in a numerical order from the bottom left to the top right. If the card is placed next to an existing card in the sequence, then they must discard cards from their hand equal to the difference between the numbers face down in front of them. As an example, placing a 5 next to a 3 will require 2 cards to be discarded from their hand. This applies even if the cards are on different rows. Now, as from the publisher, a lot about how the game is played, a little bit about how it feels. But it caught my attention and I wanted to look a little further into it. So let me tell you what I've dug up and what I think, what I feel about this sort of preview of this game. Now, I do love both cooperative games and solo play games, and many cooperative games can be played as solo, though not all of them can be. This, however, is one of the ones that can. So that sort of added a little bit extra of a boost to me and being interested in this game. Something that I can play with my buddies, or I can play by myself. Maybe for a Friday night filler, or maybe just to learn the game a little bit better. It's always a good reason to play a game solo if it can be soloed. When you look at the fact that this game can be played by ages 8 and up, and that it should take less than a half hour, 15-20 minutes that they're saying, and I haven't seen any difference in any reviews for this, they all seem to be in agreement with it, you're looking at a game that is a great game made for families. And there needs to be more games that balance both between being a family game and a game a more seasoned gamer can get into. And this is feeling like it may have, from what I've been reading, caught that balance a little bbit. Shh. This is a quiet game. Kind of game that can be played in a public library, obviously. This is part of the sense of the tranquility that this game is named after and is trying to, in some degree, grab a hold of. So playing this game in silence and looking at really some of the really nice art, beautiful, tranquil art that you're going to find here. It's all very fitting. It all really does come together to bring the concept of the game and title all into play. No pun intended. Now, without actually playing the game through and just reading about it, it did give me this sensation of almost a solitaire style game, like inspired an homage to solitaire. In fact, the way you're needing to put things down numerically. That's the main reason why I say that. But it wouldn't be the first game that's been inspired by the concept of a solitary kind of style. But again, this isn't a solitary game. It can be played that way. But as it does give me a little bit of a sensation of the traditional card game of solitaire. That's cool. I haven't seen anything about difficulty in the rules at all. The few mentions I've actually seen of the rules about this game all say that it's a very easy game to delve right into, giving me the sensation, the feeling, the thought that this is an easy introduction game, especially since you're dealing with such a young age, going back to that. This really is some sort of intro or gateway style game, I think. And that's a good thing. It's good to have another gateway game to help bring someone into the cult of board gaming, isn't it? Now, even though this, is a game that strives for, as the title calls, tranquility, I've been seeing that there is a lot of talk about this being a rather strategic game, a lot of deep strategy involved in this. So no matter how tranquil it may come off through the artwork and the style, don't be fooled by it. It's not going to be an easy game for what I'm being told, for what I'm reading. You are going to have to sit down and actually, mentally work it. Get a plan, get a strategy going, and get ready to alter it if need be. So I like that. A game that's trying to capture both the sensation of a sense of tranquility. Can I say that word enough? And while at the same time giving you an interesting strategy game. If any of that sounds interesting to you, go out and get more information. Don't listen to me or any other floating head that may or may not, you don't know, been bribed, bought, or paid off to say whatever somebody wants them to say. I think the best way to determine if you're going to like a game, once you find out about it, you get a little interested about it, is watch some playthroughs. Go try to find some playthroughs, watch them, and that'll be a great way to determine whether you are actually going to like this game or not. So go, get more information on Tranquillity.